There we go. So, when we left off, we had just sent up another package, and we're starting to get into some territory that I don't really know how to deal with. This is automated wiring. Is that part of anything else that we need? I wonder how much automated wiring we need in the game. Satisfactory. Space elevator parts. Yeah, I don't know. We need 8,000 of these suckers to finish the game. Wow. 8,000. Well, we're going to need 500 of them just for this phase, so 8,000 is like, why do I keep closing my calculator? Okay, 8,000. Three industrial cargo containers plus this little one will be the right amount. So one, three. So if I fill those up, that would be all the automated wiring I ever need. There we go. That, yes, that is correct. And versatile frameworks. I'm gonna need at this point only 4,300 more to finish up, but we're not backed up on those yet, so I don't need to worry. So I want to build my logistics hub, but I'm worried about those cliffs getting in the way if I need to expand out that way. This thing really does take up massive space. So let me just start. I guess we'll start over here. Fairly level ground here. Still continues to be level quite a ways. So why don't And stand right here to find a place to look down from. Go. Good afternoon, everybody. By the way, is what a mod, Xerox? I'm using a few mods. The purpose of this game is I'm trying to see how good my blueprints are for starting from scratch, because I developed them all in like a what do you call that? Kind of a God mode creative game, right? So, but I developed a modular logistics system that's kind of monstrous. I don't know if it might even be like too big to actually use. So I'm trying to adapt it to be usable, and it was originally designed to fit in a 6x6, but I did some work under it. I wanted to get under it to do some work, and so what I ended up doing was I lifted it up in an oversized blueprint mod. Can you hear me okay? Sorry. It's a warm day. I don't have air conditioning, so I don't always wear the headphones, and I don't know like how well people can hear me. I lifted it up to work on some signage underneath it, but I'm proud of this system. Are you there? I'll load my game where I actually have it set up and working, so you don't have to wait hours to see it if you want. But that's, the beginning of it. And unfortunately, it's dark in here and I can't fly. So what I'm going to do, I'll save here. All right, we now have 11 hours in this save, and then I will load my test and development game. Oh, is it still quiet? Hold on. It's because this microphone isn't like you can be far away from it kind of microphone. Let me see what my levels are like in OBS. I think I'm sending a pretty strong signal, but only if I like bring the mic close. Okay, so I'm loading this game and I'm getting the camera out of the way, the corner of the screen, so I can see it. And am I still quiet? Sorry if I'm making you talk. When you just want to relax, maybe. Look, so this is my logistics system when it's deployed, and it gives you up to 3 lanes of 10 sushi belts that could actually be turned into 20 sushi belts if you go around a complete circle with it instead of putting in these return caps at the end, right? Like if this went all the way around, then you'd have an outer and inner belt on this on each one of these. So this is the basic like Mark III version. I have a Mark VI version on a save where I'm harvesting and burning every bit of crude on the map as rocket fuel, using about 50 or 60 trains with 10 cars each. And that one is deployed in a Mark VI version. This is all Mark III or below. because I wanted all of this stuff to be buildable like right when you unlock Mark III, and then kind of upgrade it as you go. So it's modular. This is like the empty hub piece. Well, no, that's actually the approach. This is the empty hub piece. And you can put 3 sets of 10 sushi belts in there. And each set of 10 sushi belts has 2 inputs and 2 outputs, or 1 and 1 if you're splitting them. Yes, this is my own idea. I spent a long time developing it. This is like the 3rd or 4th iteration. So, for example, this belt right here has 2 levels of deuterium, 2 levels of iron, 2 levels of copper. I don't know what we're using this for. And each splitter for the output is a smart splitter. So it will send 100% to the output and only send overflow onward. So you don't have to worry about fractioning your input when you come to the factory. So the way a factory gets set up is I build all the factories to look kind of like this. This is a recent one that I built for building materials. This one does 30 rotors a minute and 15 motors. And it's actually 2 factories inside. One of them is just dedicated to the rotors that you would get out of it, and those you see coming up into the sink on the right-hand side. And another one is dedicated to making the rotors that are needed for the motors. So this floor is 30 rotors a minute. This floor is 30 rotors a minute. This floor is 15 motors a minute, which takes these 30 motors and also makes another 30 what's the motors, rotors, and I keep wanting to say toroid, but I know that's not what it is. I guess the quick wire. There you go, Stators. Okay. And then on the roof, I have a racetrack. And I call this the rat race series of factories. So you come up here on the roof and watch all of your materials circle around, and you can put in the speed measurements to tell the overall health and see if everything's working as fast as it's supposed to. So I pick 8 items to come up this side and down the other side, and the logistics are a nightmare internally. I actually spent 3 days on this one factory and had to tear it all apart and come back to it several times because I got myself boxed into a corner with all the logistics, because not only am I just producing stuff and sending it to the next level, I'm also sending it out here to this display panel. And I've done this with a lot of things. These are my metal factories. This is Kateria. I have that one shut down because I'm using this stuff elsewhere. And this is the iron factory. I have that one shut down as well because I'm using this stuff elsewhere. I think it's actually hung up because I'm not collecting it. And this is the copper. I eliminated the inputs, but I'll show you how this one works. It'll be kind of fast. Okay, that's the output. That's another output. And these are my 2 inputs. Okay, so this, I call this the Bang Bang series because it's 2 copper smelters, one on the left and one on the right, so that you don't have to have any belts faster than Mark III, and in case the power requirements for running both at the same time are going to break the bank. And it's a little over-engineered in terms of the water storage, but if we connect a belt here and we're in straight mode, then it hides all the curves. So from up above, it just looks normal. You can come over here and feed. Whoa, what did I do? Oh. I just downgraded that belt. That's not smart. Hold on. Okay, that needs to be Mark II. This needs to be Mark II. it needs to. I've got the flying sprint speed cranked, and that's making me kind of unstable. All right, so now we've got copper ore feeding out on both sides, and this reminds me that needs to be Mark II. That already is Mark II. And that's feeding in there, so when it starts working, and it would take a minute from scratch. I think this thing takes like 11 or 12 minutes to come online when you just start feeding in the water, but I've already got the water primed. So all we got to do is get the ore to the machines and we're good to go. And you see what I call the waterfall up in front start running. And I have a lighting system here. These are really fun to watch get started. I guess, you know, if you made it and you like feel that sense of pride and satisfaction. Had a job well done. So there we go. We've got our first batch of ingots. Our first 4 batches of ingots are coming online. They go up one side and down the other. Each trip up and down the other represents one refinery using the pure ingot recipe. So each pair of lifts shows me the health of that machine, and they'll all be filled up in just a second. Now, I had disabled that because I was using the copper ore on the line to test another factory. And this might run a little bit anemic because, like I said, I am using most of the copper ore in the system, although that does seem to be a full load going in. And a full load of ingots coming out. This last machine is a little slower than the rest of them, it seems, but might just be an illusion. But it looks real cool when it's running. And I'll just come over here and yeah, that one's only at 17% because the copper ore hasn't quite backed up in the inventory yet. Need that one either. Everything is running very anemically because the manifold is still filling. Later on in my development, I learned to do this one's a lot faster because it's had more time to fill the manifold. Later on in my development, I learned to do as much load balancing as possible so I don't have to wait so long for manifolds to fill. So this is my turbo fuel factory. It produces 180 turbo fuel. And I didn't have very many materials that were fun to look at to set up the front wall display. And I didn't make a rooftop racetrack like I do on a lot of stuff. But the taller machines like refineries are harder to work with anyway. You can't get as many floors in your 6x6, you know what I mean? But this machine produces a lot of this stuff, a lot of that polymer resin, so I could divert that instead of sinking it, and it automatically uses a smart splitter to, or does it? You know what? I don't think I implemented that part yet. I just sync it automatically. And this is somebody else's blueprint, this power plant. I just needed that to get power to the rest of my stuff. I didn't want to design one for myself yet. That's not my design, that's somebody else's, but it's a pretty efficient way to burn 180 turbo fuel. There's 24 fuel generators all jammed together. And then this one I have shut down. This is heavy modular frames. It does 2.5 a minute, but I shut it off to save resources. And this one is doing regular modular frames. It's doing 4 a minute. And I think I want to set something like that up in my current playthrough. But I have a modular frame factory that's much smaller. It just doesn't look as cool. And it's doing close to that amount. So this thing's just kind of a massive waste of space, but it does look a lot cooler. How many hours you got in the game? If you're still there. All right, so back to my regular game. This one doesn't have a name tag yet. I need to put that one on before I deploy it. 900 hours. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so I think I'm looking at about 1,500 hours right now, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, I can't fly in this game, can I? So I made that. Oh, isn't that cool? I just built this handy little tower, and didn't even mean to, that allows me to climb up to it and see what's going on in there. Well, this is very poor placement because it's smashed up against this factory, and it's not quite as tall as I expected it to be. And I wonder what's easier, to move this or move the... Screw it. What? What is this ping thing? Why am I pinging stuff instead of deleting stuff? Huh? Have you ever seen that? Is there a stuck button? Should I load this game again? There we go. Well, whatever was, it's not a problem now. So maybe we'll build it over here. Okay, you know what? Wherever we put it, we're going to need 6 open squares on each side. No, 12 actually, 12. Oh, I've been playing since early access. I think the first update I saw was update 7, which would mean that I started playing around update 6. Right, I wonder if this is big enough. So 1, 2. Okay, this is the edge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be the end of the approach and the beginning of whatever factory I put on it, so that's useless. Wow, I need 48 plus 6 squares. No. I need 30. I need 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I do. From here to all the way over there, I would be able to fit how many segments? Let's measure them with infinite zoop. Can't seem to get out past 13, 14, 20. I need 30. All right, thanks, Xerox. Okay, I do have the space, but that's not where that needs to be. Okay, so so that's done, and okay, so here from the outer edge, we'll call this the outer edge, and paint these tiles blue. 2, 3. Okay, so that's the approach ones. And these guys, these neighbors of mine, they love to drill in their goddamn walls. It's so annoying. is. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's a fuck up right there. Some Z fighting over here because I laid down 2 of them at a time. Well, perfect. So this is where the hub piece needs to go. All right. Well then. Now we can make our hub piece. Boom. And then we need to make the approach. The approach needs high-speed connectors. That's interesting. Can I make high-speed connectors with what I got? Let's see. Well, I can make 100. Because of the circuit boards. I wonder why I can't make circuit boards yet. Hold on now. I can't be wasting them if I can't get them. So I'm gonna have to sloop this process, double the output. sheets. Wait a minute, I don't need quick wire. I do not know how to make high-speed connectors yet. Where's the map? Fused quick wire's fine with me for right now. High-speed connectors, but so where's the high-speed connector then? Okay, it can only be reproduced in the crafting bench because it needs, okay, it needs a manufacturer. I get it, so I'm not wasting anything per se, but I definitely need to unlock those circuit boards because I'm going to run out of these pretty fast if I need to build this system. And that may figure out what part is using the high-speed connectors. Is it the smart switches? Is it the smart splitters, maybe? Because that changes the accessibility. So the logistical approach goes where? Goes out here. I can't put that on there from down here. I need to get up there. So I'm up at the road layer. I don't know what this rail is doing here. Why? Is this even the right blueprint? I don't think it is. This looks like something I've tried and... yeah, that's not current. What is this? Yeah, this is definitely the one. Alright, I need to open that up. It's not cool not to have that. Is this even the right? No, this is not the right hub. That's why that's not working. Okay. I think the only hub that was up to speed was the empty one. Yes, that is the correct one. And it uses a lot less parts too. Okay. Well, that explains some of the issues I was having. Now we will power the approach. I think we need to get power up here. And we got lighting. Hallelujah. In the factory, is for modular engines, and that's going to require some more power shards. Alright, and that is going to need a special operation for processing power slugs, and I guess I'll do that in the green glow of the hub. Oh wait, I can't use my slug processing blueprint because it is a very, it's got endgame materials, I think, or at least it's got some aluminum products which we haven't unlocked. Okay, so blue power shards, max speed. Power connection. Go! Oh. Get you some. Any Satisfactory players in the audience, talk to me, guys. I want to know. Nice. Got less than a minute left processing these. Wow, this is some noisy shit. Should I lower it a little bit? How's that? Does that work better? Time to do the yellows. And maybe we don't need to sit right here and watch these. Let's see. 10 sushi belts. Oh, I can do it. Okay. We put the sushi belts on this side. Okay. Okay. Whatever that was killed the audio. I think I need to stop this. I need to reboot. Hold on, this machine's been cranking all night. Whatever the. That's crazy. I think my machine just got too hot. It needs a good cleaning. I'll see you guys in a minute. We are at about the 12-hour mark, and we're making our main